Hello and welcome to VEDA day 17. Today I want to show you my reading log. This is a Google Sheet that I started in 2015 when I found that I wasn't happy with the stats that I got from Goodreads. And now it's evolved to finding a complete thing to to be able to not use Goodreads at all. So this is the sheet I have for last year, 2019. So we have the title, the author, the gender of the author, because I wanted to track that. The month I finished it, the genre, the intended audience, I've split into adults, YA, and children. Then type, which I have essay, novel, graphic novel, short story, poetry, play, picture book, and narrative non-fiction. Then we have format, source, so whether I own it or it's from the library. And I have rereads and TBR, as in I own it and I haven't read it yet. Continent it's set in, and nationality of author. So all these are things that I really want to track and figure out if I read, for example, how much Norwegian I read, which here was pretty large chunk, but you can see it's mostly English. And then at the end there, I have what did I think bit, where I can sum up what I thought of it. Then over here, I have a great book column where I put a little X if I loved it, I thought it was a great book. And then over here, I start with the stats. And it's pretty messy. So we have books finished. So this was for 2019. I finished 55 books. And then, the breakdown of formats and intended audience. And all of these are tables that I then make into graphs and stuff, if I want to. So this is the breakdown of formats for last year. I had a lot of digital formats, audiobooks and ebooks. And then for genre, I read mostly romance and fantasy. And North America and the UK for setting, since I read so much in English. And then I also wanted to figure out how many formats, what format book I read for each month. And you can see I suddenly sort of discover ebooks in July. So this is just for me to figure out and track exactly what I want to be tracking. So I'm not tracking, for example, page numbers, because to me that isn't really interesting. I'm not tracking how long it takes me to read the books, because I don't care. And I've made these drop-down menus to make it easier to do the input, because the input was too hard before and I had to think too much about it, and then I wouldn't fill in. So now I do. And I've recently added a tab here that's called Owned and Unread, which is basically just a list of all the books I own and haven't read, and with the format and the year I've gotten it. And I have a currently reading list, far too many books at once, and just in general stats, because I love stats. I also, since I've been, I retroactively put in all the books I read back to 2011. I have some comparisons between the years, if it can load, yep. So I made some graphs, because I love graphs, where we have percentage of rereads, for example. Almost 50% at its max in 2013, and then varying. Percentage of female authors, which is just rising. Percentage of books read in Norwegian, which fluctuates. And the formats, which have been mostly paper books, which is the yellow part, and then some ebooks and audiobooks now in the later years. So yeah, I've been doing this for years, so now it's basically not really like a log anymore. It's more of a database where I can pull out information, and it's very good. I enjoy stats a lot. So this is 2020, and I've added a few columns. I've made one here for the year I bought the book, and yeah, I really enjoy getting stats out of my reading, which is fun. And I don't have any pressure to give books a rating or anything in this system, which I love. Okay, I think I've rambled on long enough about my reading log baby, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye!